What should I do today? Maybe another YouTube video. Maybe on how I edit? Nah. Needs to be something different. Something everyone can find useful. Oh, nah, that won't work. Needs to be interesting. How about studio photography? Yeah, that'd be dope. What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to yet another YouTube video. Today we're at Lunch Money Studios, a studio that my friend Michelle owns, and me and her are gonna teach you guys some tips and tricks on studio photography. This is gonna be a really quick lesson. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's waste no more time. Let's go.
Hey guys, I'm Michelle, aka Lunch Money. Thanks for hanging in the studio with me today. Alen and I have a really cool day planned ahead. We're gonna run through basic setup, lighting, getting the most from your model, composition, and all that good. Alen, what's the first step again?
I'm on this, I don't know. Okay guys, so while Michelle is setting up the model and getting him ready, I want to talk about a few things, and that starts the conversation of what you're really going to do when you have the studio space available to you. First thing I always try to think about is actually the backdrop, and this is a huge part of determining the type of images you're going to get. The backdrop, if it's a darker color, it's easier to kind of mask out, sometimes in Photoshop, so you have to think about the post-production process as much as the production process itself. That was a lot of words in one sentence. But yeah, I'm just gonna clean up a little bit, get it ready. We're gonna kind of situate an area where the model is gonna be sitting, prepare the light sources around the model, clean up the space a little bit. So let's get it. A lot of light sources. So we got two softbox up here, and we got two Bowens over here. These are trigger light sources, which is different than the ones that are continuous, obviously. Something to note is that Bowens is, actually I'm not too sure, but they might be discontinued, but there's still attachments that you can buy for them, which is interesting. This is called the Beauty Dish. It has a very interesting interior, and if you get too close it might blind you.
So these bad boys right here are continuous lighting. They're optimal for video. And these two here are strobe lighting, and they're optimal for fashion, portrait photography.
Okay, a million things running through my mind, but first, where is our model? Does anyone know where our model is? Seriously, what happened? Oh, would you look at that? What's up, man? How are you, bro?
How are you doing?
Good, good, good. So Steven flew all the way from Atlanta to come and model for us. He's a professional model, right?
Totally.
Yeah, exactly, right? This is his first time actually, but it's okay, because you don't need a professional model sometimes. You just need to be able to experiment and, try to come up with cool stuff creatively with your friends. So the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna get him situated on our, kind of in our studio space, make him comfortable, work his angles, get him ready for the photo shoot. One thing that you always want to take into consideration is trying to mark the spot of your model so that if they were kind of moving around, they always remember where they were first kind of beginning their spot. And it's also a good spot to work off of when you're continuously shooting so that your images have a very kind of organized aspect ratio to them. So let's begin. So I'm kind of trying to change Steven's look a little bit. Very small little details that you can do to your model that really enhance the image. First is wetting their hair, just giving it a little bit of more texture. And then showing a little bit more skin, but not so much skin that's, yeah, we're not going there. But maybe rolling up the sleeves, kind of showing the figure of your model a little bit more. And then, yeah, when you have the person's hair also in the image, it's a more flattering perspective, because you have to understand when you're shooting flashlight with someone wearing a hat, you might get a lot of shadows, and you don't want that. You want to avoid all shadowy areas as much as possible.
I'm just gonna lower these lights a little bit because these are the height for if the model's standing. But he's sitting down, so we'll lower these a bit. We got power.
We got power, people.
I got the power.
I typically use variable lenses when I'm shooting in studio. I just like to be able to play around with the zoom. So right now I have a 24-70 attached to my camera with a 2.8 aperture. And we have the trigger here, it's a pulsar trigger. So whenever I take an image, obviously the lights are gonna go off. And yeah, we'll play around with the zoom. We'll shoot him at 70 and we'll shoot at 24 if necessary. The 70 helps when we want to get detail shots, maybe get certain features of the face. Really zoom in on those aspects of the model itself. I've set up the camera on a tripod. I wanted to get stationary, very consistent images, but obviously I'll take it off at some point and just kind of go free-handed. It's nice to have a combination. In terms of the actual settings on the camera, I have my shutter speed at 1/200th of a second. My aperture is going to be about 2.8. I can change it up depending on how I feel. And ISO I'm going to leave at 125. Now you always want to remember that the flash and your shutter speed have to be kind of in sync. And so 1/200th of a second is typically a very consistent balance between them. And it really comes out to be a favorable kind of lighting condition to shoot in.
Using a plastic bag is very interesting. It can add a really cool effect to the photo. And mirrors. Mirrors are really cool too. So let's head over to Alen.
Okay, can I get this?
Oh, sorry.
So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's little video session on studio photography. Michelle, thank you so much for having us here today.
Thanks, Alen. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys took something away from the video and stay creative.
Absolutely. And Lunch Money is the spot if you do ever want to shoot some stuff in Toronto. Michelle will hook it up for sure.
I got you.
And if you do have any feedback that you'd like us to address, leave a comment. I'd love to read what you guys have to say and kind of give you some feedback on that. And be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next week. Peace! Helping me teach you guys some studio techniques and tips on photography. Some tips and tricks on mobile photography.
Take 13, Mark.
And I got my girl studio. Photography. I don't want to waste any time, so let's get going. Okay, my phone went off.
Take 17, Mark.
I met. Oh, we have to do it one more time.
Mark, Matthew, Luke, John.
And welcome back to another yet. Talk to you about studio photography. I got my girl Michelle who's gonna be kind of helping me teach you guys some ideas. When is this gonna end?
43.
We're at Lunch Money Studios. My friend Michelle's gonna help me teach you guys some of these.
Take 73, Mark.
Got my girl Michelle who owns Lunch Money Studios. We're gonna be talking to you guys.
Yes, bro.
Did you like?
Today we're at Lunch Money, about to get that guap. You don't know viral album. EP coming out soon. Free McBills. Free McBills.
That was actually working.
I know. But free him again.